Hi friends, welcome to my channel, YiaYia's Heart Tarot. Today I'm bringing you Monday messages, guidance to help you through the week ahead. We'll be doing 2 readings today, but before we do that, as has become kind of usual, I'd like to go through some visions that I had and some interpretations of those visions in the meditation that I always do before I read tarot. So today, in the meditations that I had, and I've got some notes here, the first thing that I saw was just some old world French or Spanish architectural villages, cities, and it was just that. It wasn't really anything happening there. It was just kind of flashes of old stone buildings and passageways with some Moorish influence to them. So the interpretation that I got from that is to stick to tried and true principles or procedures this week that have stood the test of time. Don't give in to pressure, but be willing to adapt a little. And don't be tricked into giving up something you didn't intend to. Okay, so the next vision that I had was that of preparing for a joust, like in an old English, the time of like Henry VIII type of setting, the Tudor England. Forgive me if you're a history buff and that's not the right setting for a joust, but it was, I was looking from what I believe was the seats of a spectator who would have been one of the nobles, and I was looking toward the seats where the king and queen would sit, where the rulers would sit. And so what I took from that is that it has not started yet, but there may be some turmoil or unrest in your workplace or your home this week. However, you will stay out of it, as will the boss or the head of household. So it's going to be others, not those in power or those who are the rulers or the bosses or the leaders, but there may be some squabbling, some infighting, some sort of turmoil going on for your week to this week. Again, I don't think that you're really going to be involved in it. It'll probably be just something that sort of shakes things up where you are, and maybe makes things a little bit uncomfortable for everybody. The other thing I saw, there were a couple of courtiers, I believe is what they were, a couple of gentlemen who were, one was dressed all in red and one was dressed all in blue. And again, they weren't really doing anything. It was just kind of a flash. And so from that, I interpreted to be successful this week, rely on those around you that you trust, who are basically in your tribe or in your established group, but also be willing to explain yourself if necessary. If they're, if things aren't going smoothly and somebody wants an explanation or wants you to elaborate on something, then be willing to do that verbally. Be willing to speak that to them and explain things, and be very patient about that. And then the last vision that I had was like a Swiss chalet. I had the impression of like a Swiss clock. And the Swiss are very famous for their clockworks. So the impression that I took from that is that time management is going to be very important for you this week. So keep all of those things in mind. There may be some squabbling in your workplace. Stick to tried and true principles or procedures that have worked in the past. But don't be absolutely adverse to compromising just a little bit if you need to. But don't be tricked into doing something that you don't want to do or giving up something that you don't want to give up. Rely on the people that you trust in your workplace or in your home or whatever situation you're in, and be ready to explain yourself or talk people through things if need be, and also make sure that you are careful about your time management this week. So those are the things from the meditation that I wanted to share before we got started. And then the two groups that we're going to be doing today, I picked books for each one of the groups. So the first group is William Butler Yeats, A Vision. Let's see if I can get it so you can see it. There you go. William Butler Yeats, A Vision. Excuse me. I really need to turn that alarm off. And then we have an oracle card that we'll take a look at the end also. And then group number 2 is the complete works of Edgar Allan Poe. The complete works of Edgar Allan Poe, and also the oracle card. So again, A Vision by William Butler Yeats, or the complete works of Edgar Allan Poe, group 1, group 2. So take whatever time you need to decide which group you would like to select. You're welcome to listen to both groups if you'd like. As always, the groups will be linked to a timestamp below in the description. So if you want to go directly to your reading, simply click on the timestamp below and it'll take you straight to your reading. And I will see you there. Hi, Group 1. This is your reading. The William Butler Yeats reading, Group 1. The first messages that we are going to get are for the general energy going into your week this week. What is the general energy for Group 1, Spirit? Messages, please, for the general energy of Group 1 for their week. Okay, so we got the 4 of Cups. We got the 3 of Pentacles. And we got the Hermit. Okay. So, you are needing to work with other people to get a project done this week. Or, yeah, there's something that's requiring you to work with other people this week. That may be the norm for you, and it may not. I get the feeling that this is more directed by someone else, perhaps, than something that you would have chosen necessarily. In fact, I feel like you're kind of feeling like you just as soon not take on this project, or just as soon not have to give up your time this week to this group of people to do this particular project. You'd very much like to work on your own stuff. If this is spending time with a particular group of people, I feel like, if this isn't a work situation necessarily, but if you are finding yourself being pulled into hanging with other people this week, or perhaps somebody's coming in unexpectedly from out of town, and so you're having to spend the week with them, and you really, really feel like you wish that you didn't have to do that because you've really got quite a bit on your plate already, and you just as soon not have that time taken away that you could be working on your own stuff. So that's the energy of your week so far. You're being pulled into a group of people to work with or to spend time with that would not necessarily have been your choice, because you've got quite a bit of your own stuff on your own plate that you'd like to spend time with or take care of or work on, but you've got this other situation that's come up that you really can't get out of. So Spirit, thank you for that message. Could we have please some messages about the challenges that Group 1 will be facing this week? What sort of challenges will Group 1 be facing for their week ahead? What are the challenges for Group 1? Please, Spirit. I heard that I need another deck, so let's do that. I think we need this one. Okay, Spirit, what are the challenges that Group 1 will be facing this week? Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we got the Ace of Spears, we got the Knight of Swords, and we got the Five of Pentacles. So all of these cards are talking, at least in my interpretation for this particular question, about solitary work. So again, I think we're kind of going back to you wish you had time to work on your own stuff. That's going to be your challenge this week, is to get the work done or to get things in order for yourself, to get your own work done, whatever that means for this week, to have time to yourself so you're not overloaded. If it's with regard to having to spend time with people that you hadn't planned on, if it's regard to having to work on a project with other people, whatever the situation is, your challenge is going to be that you have some solitary stuff that you need to work on, or you want to work on, or you need some time to yourself, and you're just not going to really have that the way that you would like to, the way that you need to. So that's your challenge for this week, is that you are going to be pulled away from your own personal needs to interact with another group to do a project or work on something, or some people who are coming into your life that you have to spend time with that you hadn't planned on. So that's your challenges for the week. And Spirit, what help can Group 1 tap into this week? What help can they tap into? Okay, the Magician, the Ten of Spears, the Chariot, and the Hermit. Okay, so we've got the Hermit again. We had the Hermit initially. And we've got the Magician and the Chariot. So wow, this is some powerful energy that you can tap into this week to help you. And to a certain extent, this is really your own energy. This is your own strength, your own ability to get things done, get your own things done. You've got the ability. You can charge ahead when you have time to yourself, and you're going to be able to. You're going to have just a tremendous ability to get just a ton of work done when you have moments away from this other situation. So the help that you're going to be able to tap into is just that you have this incredible ability to be focused, to be productive, it's like when you have a moment, you know exactly what you need to do, you know exactly how to do it, and you don't hesitate, you just get to it. So the help that you're going to be able to draw upon this week is yourself, your own ability to really take charge and of those moments that you have to yourself. And just to get whatever needs to get done. You're going to find that you're going to be able to do a lot more work in a very small period of time, much more work than you thought you'd be able to get done. It's going to flow just really easily. You're going to be, it's almost as though because you know that you're going to have such a limited span of time, it's like you're going to be laser focused and no time is going to be wasted. And so you're actually going to end up probably getting done what you need to get done, or at least most of what you need to get done, in a much smaller, shorter time period than you would think you would normally need, just because you're going to be so focused, because you know you're not going to have a lot of extra time to do the things that you had planned to do this week that you need to get done this week. So that's the help that you can draw upon. That's the strength and the power that you can draw upon, is your own strength, power, and focus to get things done in just really short period of time. It's and like I said, there are 3 major arcana there, as well as a 10, which not only is it this talking about the amount of work that you can carry, but a 10 is the completion of a cycle. So you're going to be able to complete the tasks that you need to complete this week because of all of the power that you have within yourself. So that's pretty amazing. So Spirit, for group 1, where should they place their focus this week? Where should their focus be? Where does group 1 need to have their focus this week? Where should group 1's focus be to serve them best? Okay. Okay, well, we have got the significator, or the significator, significator, I never quite know how to pronounce that. But anyway, this is a card that signifies you. So your focus needs to be on you this week. Now I take that back. Let me take a look at the rest of the cards here first, and then we'll figure out who this is supposed to be. The bulk of the messages that we're getting here are of emotion and happiness. We've got the Sun, we've got the Ace of Cups, we've got the Ten of Cups, and we've got the Seven of Cups. So we've got a lot of cups there, a lot about emotion. We've also got the Wheel of Fortune, which is sort of letting things flow. Sometimes it can signify just going with the flow, letting whatever will happen. So basically going with the flow. So again, we're talking about sort of a watery emotion here, potentially. So this week, your focus is going to need to be on your emotions. We do have the Sun, so that's a card of a good deal of happiness. We've also got the Ten of Cups, which is a card of love, oftentimes the love of a family. So if your challenge this week is that you have maybe family visiting or friends coming in from out of town or something, then you're going to need to focus on being present in an emotional way with those people. And if this is, if your challenge is that you've got a project at work that you need to focus on or you need to be present for, it's something you have to do. You're not given a choice, basically. So you're going to need to focus. We've got the Seven of Cups here, which sometimes signifies difficult choices, difficult emotional choices. So we've got all these emotion cards. So, again, if your challenge is that you've got someone coming in unexpectedly into your life that you have to spend time with, they're only going to be a short while, and, it's someone that you care for, and so you really want to spend the time with them even though you don't really have the time, just remember to, listen to your emotions, listen to the emotions that you have as far as a connection with those people, and let that guide you. Be present with them, be grateful that they're here, even though it's sort of an imposition potentially, but it's someone that you love, it's someone that you're grateful to see, so let that emotion flow. If it's something at work, if it's a group situation that you have to work with at work, be sure to keep your emotions in check. Don't let any sort of frustration or like panic because you don't have enough time, or anger because you wish you could be doing something else and this has been sort of imposed upon you. Don't let any of those emotions get the best of you. Just basically, keep on a positive side of the emotions, whether that is celebrating seeing someone you haven't seen for a while, or just staying calm in a situation where you could kind of get caught up in some of the emotions. So I think I was right in the first place. This significator or significator is you, and you are needing to, see this deer is white, so you're needing to stay on the positive side of the emotions, whether that be staying calm and not getting worked up, or whether that be being joyful, spending time with people who've unexpectedly come into your life for the week. So that's where your focus should lie. Focus should lie on keeping your emotions positive. So let's see. Thank you, Spirit. And what should Group 1 shut down or avoid this week? What should be avoided for Group 1 this week? What do they need to protect against or avoid? Yeah, so we got an interesting group. Okay, so we got the Four of Pentacles, and we got the Three of Swords. So the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, avoid being selfish and hurting people's feelings. If again you are finding yourself in a place where you just want to say, I don't have, I wish you weren't here, or I wish I didn't have to do this project because I've got so much I need to do, and really hurting someone's feelings, or being selfish with your time. If this is a work project that you've been thrown into with other people, there's a good chance that they may not want to be working on this project either, but it needs to get done. So something that you need to avoid is, being cruel to someone or being selfish about the situation. The Hanged Man, again, this is... This can be kind of, in this situation with what you should avoid, this could indicate that you might get wrapped up in being, in feeling sorry for yourself, basically, in playing the victim. So avoid that. Don't get into that victim mentality that, man, I shouldn't have to do this. I've got so much of my own stuff. Again, the other people involved, especially like if this is a work situation, they may have their own stuff to do too, but everybody needs to put that aside to be able to work together. If this is family coming in or friends coming in to see you, and you hadn't really planned on it and you really don't have the time for it, again, don't get trapped within that victim mentality. Why is this happening to me? Why do I always have to be the one to do this? Blah, 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 whatever. The Hierophant and the Three of Cups. Avoid... I feel like this is avoid connecting with authority figures. I'm going to need more clarity on that. Spirit, can I get some more clarity on the Hierophant and the Three of Grails, please, for this? Hierophant and the Three of Grails. Okay, so Two of Spears and the Four of Grails. Well, again, Four of Grails, we've got this energy of not wanting to take on any more work, not feeling like you've got enough time or energy or whatever to do any more than what you absolutely have to do. The Two of Spears. This card, and I believe probably the Three of Grails too, is you wishing that you could get out of this situation. Yeah, that's what that is. Avoid thinking about wishing that you could just duck out of this whole thing, that you could just like disappear and go do whatever you want, and whoever needs you can't find you. That's counterproductive, and that is just going to create more bad emotion, and we really need to be careful with this emotion this week, so that it stays on the positive side, or on the even side, evened out a little bit. Let's see, the Hierophant. Avoid or shut down. Yeah, I feel like this is like a boss or something. Can I have more clarification, please, Spirit, on the Hierophant? Why is that there? Why is this something to avoid? What is that meaning? Would you please clarify that for me? Oh, okay. Okay. Judgment and the Knight of Spears. Okay, so I think that the reason that the Hierophant is here, and the Judgment and the Knight of Spears, to clarify that, I think what you need to avoid this week is getting caught up in the idea that that this is taking away too much time from you, and it's time you'll never get back. Just that feeling of getting a little panicky because if this doesn't get done, or if my stuff gets put on the back burner and it doesn't get done, then I'm going to fall behind, and I'm going to, and it's just feeling like that's something that's going to put you forever behind. This is saying, don't get caught up in planning for the way your week should look, because it obviously isn't going to look that way, because this unexpected situation has kind of been dumped in your lap. And so the more you hold on to how you believed your week was going to turn out for you, the more resentful you're going to become because it doesn't turn out that way. So that's what this message is saying. Don't so tightly hold on to your expectations of what the week was going to be and what you were going to get done, and all of the things that you had planned for the week that now are going to have to go on the back burner because you've got something else that you have to attend to. Don't get so caught up in being depressed or upset or angry about that outcome not coming to be, or get panicky because what you had planned on getting done is not going to get done. There's always time. The plan might not come to fruition right now, but it will eventually, or it will get changed. And that's the thing about planning for stuff. We cause ourselves more suffering by planning the way things should be, and then when they're not, that's what makes us suffer. It's not the way things end up that makes us suffer. It's just that we intended them to be differently, or we intended them to be something different, and that's what makes us suffer. Is that we had these plans and the plans didn't come to be. Typically the things that happen in our life in and of themselves don't make us suffer. It's just they're not what we expected. So that's what these cards are saying. Don't get caught up with what you had planned your week to be, because it likely won't end up being that. And the more you dwell on it needing to be that, or what you lost because it wasn't, then that just makes your week that much harder. It takes this emotion away from whatever the other situation is that you need the positive emotion. So just avoid that. Okay, so, and what is the outcome that Group 1 can expect for their week? Spirit, what outcome can they expect? Okay, so we got the Maiden of Spears, we got the Nine of Pentacles, we got the Moon, the World, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so you're actually going to get a lot more done this week than you think you will. You are really going to level up as far as your ability to just take charge and not necessarily take charge of anyone else, but just take action, inspired action, and insightful action. You're going to be able to be creative when you need to. You're going to be able to take time, little bits of time that normally wouldn't amount to much. You're going to be able to take those and just throw everything together, and you're going to come away with a very solid win. You're going to get stuff accomplished this week that is real world solid stuff. You're going to get a lot of tasks accomplished. You're really going to have a lot more success this week at getting things done than you even thought was possible. The World, I mean, you're basically going to complete everything that you need to complete. You're going to finish everything that you need to finish this week. And you're still going to be able to keep your emotions in check. And so you're just amazingly, it looks like right now, it looks like your week's going to be a loss. But because of this inner strength that you have and this ability to, prioritize and act efficiently and decisively, you're going to get everything you need to get done. You're going to get done this week, and then some. I mean, you're going to get whatever it is that this situation that's putting you together with other people that you hadn't planned on, that's going to get taken care of, that's going to get accomplished, and whatever else you needed to do for the week, that's going to get accomplished too. So, wow, this is really impressive, Group 1. Maybe I need to hire you to do something for me one of these days. So let's take a look at the Oracle card that we got. Interesting. The Oracle card we got is Grief. Grief deepens you, allowing you to explore the perimeters of your soul. Grief is the only gateway to certain levels of consciousness, and it is a hard taskmaster. Through grief, you can explore every aspect of your dark side: anger, pain, abandonment, terror, loneliness, aspects of the sacred wound that we usually try to ignore in our daily lives. Grief forces you to acknowledge those parts of yourself that are not yet healed. If you can look at grief as a teaching, you will grow. If you can look at grief with awareness and an open heart, it is one of the greatest teachers of all. The seeds of wisdom and enlightenment are planted within the wounds of grief. What is lost can come back to us again in higher ways. I'm not exactly sure how this message ties in with your reading, except that if you're grieving the loss of the time that you thought you were going to have this week, maybe that's talking about that. But I did actually pull another Oracle deck, and I felt like I needed to use it, although I wasn't sure how. So I think this is why I pulled this other Oracle deck. I think we need another Oracle card from this deck and see what it tells us. So Spirit, could we have another card? A card from this deck for Group 1, please. Just a message for them. All right, we got a couple. Okay, so, actually we've got 3. So this cute little one is a turtle with a little island on his back and a tree. Some journeys in life are not a sprint, and often in Western culture we are living with the insidious notion that time is scarce. So this matches your reading. How often have you said, "I do not have the time"? That is a perception we have embraced. It is an excuse. Everything we put time into is a choice, and you are being invited to own those choices. and maybe then you can feel better about your life, and if not, consider what new choices you are prepared to make to change it. But be mindful of what you wish for, as you may not like how it transpires. So, this one definitely goes with your reading. Seeing that you do have enough time. Let's see. This one, we've got this beautiful moon with a tree up in the clouds. This one's also talking about time. Time moves differently for us all. A butterfly lives a full life, but to us it seems fleeting. The ancient trees see centuries pass, see us racing about, but with no judgment of our rush. The phases of the moon are a symbol of the passage of time. Our society is driven by time. Success is measured by the time in which it is achieved. You are invited to review your perception of time. Are you judging your life and the life of others by where you are in the timeline of your existence? What you have and have not achieved. Goals are an important tool to assist in reaching states of being in the material and spiritual worlds, but beware that you do not become a slave to time. Do not allow it to become the corrosion that erodes away your self-worth. So again, we're talking about the time. This time that you feel like is being taken away from you. Don't get caught up in that. And then this last card that we have here, I'm not even sure what this little creature is. It appears there is a reflection of a bear, so I assume that maybe this is a polar bear, but I can't tell for sure. You are seeking security, comfort, and protection, hoping it leads to happiness. Are you seeking security, comfort, and protection, hoping it leads to happiness and fulfillment? Be mindful these ideals are influenced and affected by the armor, the stories, and the scars we bear. These elusive notions are wild as they are unattainable, but you have the strength and endurance to accept and surrender to the faith of where you are in life. We all live with changing seasons, and as in nature, our emotions and spirits wind their way through seasons too. Be kind to yourself and stay aware of which perceptions are coloring your world. So again, this is kind of talking about the passage of time. So I guess just a reminder there at the end of this reading that don't worry about your time this week. And now that I say that, I remember at the beginning, one of the messages that I got in my meditation was that time management is going to be very important for you this week. So there you go. There's your message for the week. I hope it helps you get through your week. And actually, I hope if you are visiting with someone that you don't get to see often, that you really take the time to enjoy that, and that you have just a wonderful time. I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to read this for you. I love to read for you, and I welcome you back anytime you need any guidance. Thanks for being with me. See you later. Bye. Hi, Group 2. This is your reading, the Edgar Allan Poe reading. The first message that we're going to get is the general energy going into your week. What is the general energy for Group 2 going into their week? What is the general energy for Group 2 going into their week? Whoa. Okay. Got the Six of Wands. We got the Death card. Got the Hierophant, the Father of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Three of Cups. Well, let's see. The Six of Wands, the Death card. Six of Wands and the Death card is talking about finishing up a cycle and leveling up, rising up from that, almost in a celebratory fashion. So also the Three of Cups is also speaking of celebration. And the Hierophant is the card of a teacher or a mentor. So I feel as though either you have been, you have graduated from something, you have finished up a degree, you have finished some sort of class, or you have just been perhaps promoted, and being promoted into a new, yes, the Father of Pentacles is a new, that would be a promotion, a start of a new something. And it is something that you are not, like, you're not well versed in. It's something that you don't know a lot about. You may have, like, I feel like maybe you're starting out in a new position and you're learning as you go. You're being taught. You're being taught about this new position, or So I feel like you've completed, maybe your previous job, you got promoted into a higher position and you were learning that position as you go. And there's still a lot that you don't know about it. So you may be starting the week with a little bit of excitement, but a little bit of apprehension as well. So I feel like that's the energy of your week. Let me think if this was... So it might also be that you are moving from one group of people to another group. Maybe you are starting a completely new job, or maybe you have moved from one city to another. So you are in a new group of people, a new place, and you're learning about that place, but you're excited to be here. So yeah, it's just kind of a new start, and it's a new start that you are, you don't know a whole lot about it yet, but you're open to learning and you're excited to learn, and it's you're sort of been introduced to sort of a ready-made group potentially, like if you started in a new company, you've got people who are helping you settle in and are welcoming you. So that's the energy for your week. You're starting something new. It might be a new position. It might be a whole new life. Whatever it is, it's with a sense of excitement, and you're learning a lot from this new change. So, Spirit, thank you for those messages. What are some challenges that Group 2 might be facing this week? What are some challenges for them this week? Challenges for Group 2. Okay, so we got the Seven of Wands, we got the Empress, the Hermit, and the Two of Wands, the World, and the Ace of Cups. So let's see. The challenge that I see you facing is the fact that it is something new. I see you... Yeah, the challenge that you're facing is just that it is something new. There's a lot to learn. Sometimes you are unsure of how to do, or you're going to be unsure of how to do what it is that you need to do. And you are unsure of where your resources are to teach you what you need to do. There's going to be some confusion as the week goes on. If this is a new place, there might be some confusion of how to get from one place to another. If this is a new job, there might be some confusion as to, who you can go to if you need desk supplies, or or who to ask about a particular resource that you need to complete your job. If this is a new group of people, you might be unsure of who's the best person to ask for a particular question that you might have. So yeah, I feel like that's the challenges that you're going to have. You're going to have perhaps some anxiety a little bit. There might be some moments of wanting to like pull back and go home and find some comfort. So that is the challenges that you could be facing this week. It's just very new, and you're not entirely sure always at every moment where to go for what you need. And sometimes you might feel like, oh geez, maybe I made the wrong decision. I just want to go someplace comfortable, someplace that I know that I'm loved and accepted, and someplace that I know that I'm familiar with. So you're going to have those feelings, you're going to have those moments throughout the week. That's going to be your challenges. So what help can Group 2 draw from Spirit? Where can they draw strength or help or whatever they need this week to get through? Where can they draw that from? Oh, these cards are a little sticky here. Okay. Okay, so we got the Two of Cups, we got the Magician, the Star, and the Ace of Pentacles. So where you can go for help this week is someone that you already trust. There's going to be someone that is not new to this situation, that's not new to you. This may be a life partner, a spouse, a sibling. It could be somebody like that, or it could be like maybe if this is a new job in a new city or something, there may be a friend that you've known for years that brought you into this company, someone that you were childhood friends with and they moved away and they had an opening and they knew you'd be perfect for it and they brought you in. So somewhere in this new situation, whatever it is, there is an individual who is someone who is known to you, someone that you trust very much, someone who's very important in your life, and they are still, and that's where you can go to draw strength. The other thing about where can you go for help, we also got the Devil and we got the Nine of Wands. So where you don't want to go is to get too heavily, and also this Wheel of Fortune card looks like it is really, really just tangled up. So where you don't want to go is you don't want to get tangled up in the heaviness and the emotion and the sense of defeat that you might have, or the sense of overwhelm. You just definitely don't want to get in your own head. So if you get to that place where you're having doubts, it's too much, you can't make sense of things, there's just too many things coming at you all at once, then you're going to want to seek out this trusted individual, because even if you may have the idea that they're too busy, they don't have time for you, it's silly to go and bother them with something that will probably seem trivial to them. Don't feel that way. Don't get caught up in thinking, I don't want to bother them, they would think this is ridiculous. Don't get in your head about that, because that's not true. The truth of the matter is, they are here for you regardless of what they're doing in their life. They're going to be here for you. They'll drop everything. Whatever you need, they're going to be there for you. So that's where you can draw strength this week, is from that individual. And don't doubt it. Don't doubt that. Spirit, thank you for those messages. Where should, we need another deck. Where should group 2 focus this week? Let's see, what deck do we want? I feel like this one. Okay. So, Spirit, where does group 2 need to place their focus this week? Where should they focus? Where should group 2's focus be this week? Okay. 6 of Swords. Maiden of Spears. The Knight of Swords. The Sun. And the Justice card. Okay, so a couple of different messages here. The Sun and the Justice and the Maiden of Spears are saying that where you need to place your focus is what was your original focus when you decided to take on this new, whatever this new thing is. Whether this was a promotion or a move or, a new job, whatever it is. Rather than getting caught up in, oh, there's an awful lot here, there's too much coming at me all at once, rather than getting caught up in the moment, you need to think back to what was the reason for taking this step in the first place? What was your motivation for doing this new thing? Because that's going to help to ground you back to, okay, this is worth it. The 6 of Swords and the Knight of Swords, you're going to want to to focus on, this is all still the same message. Focus on what you left. What you wanted to get away from, because obviously if you went to this new thing, it's better than what you had before. So remember what it is that you did not want from the previous situation. Remember what it is that you do want from the current situation, and get very clear on that idea. Get very clear on your understanding of what you're gaining from this new situation, and what it was that you wanted to get away from in the old situation. So that's where your focus should lie this week. If things get too tough, if things seem like there's so much going on all at once that you just can't even make sense of it all, focus back on, okay, well, I hated this before and I needed to get away from it, and now I am, and this is hard, but it'll get easier. And this is what I anticipate that I can make from this new situation. What can I get? What can I, what can I make this into? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? There obviously was some reason. There was some good reason that it looked like something that was going to give you opportunities, and it is. So just remember that. Focus on what it is you want out of the situation and what you wanted to get rid of from the old situation. So that's where your focus should be this week, especially when things get hard. So what do you need to shut down or avoid this week? What does group 2 need to shut down or avoid this week, Spirit? Please and thank you. What should they avoid or shut down or stay away from? Okay, so we got the 7 of Cups, we got the Queen of Cups, and we got the 5 of Spears. Okay, so what you need to shut out is situations that, or what you need to avoid when things get too confusing. When things get really confusing, you need to sort of pull back into yourself. When you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, overwrought, when you feel like you are getting anxious, when you're starting to hyperventilate, when things are just getting to be too much, when there's too many decisions to make, when there's too many things going on all at once, you need to pull back into yourself. You need to take a step away. If you need to physically take a step away, if you need to go for a 5-minute walk, if you just need to go up and down a flight of stairs a couple of times, go get a drink of water, go get a snack. You just need to avoid this overwhelm, whether it's making decisions or whether it's just trying to do all the things you need to do at once, like actually physically handle things. If you're in a new place and you're driving somewhere and you are feeling kind of lost and you're trying to listen to the GPS and you're trying to figure out where you are and where you need to be and look at the time and pay attention to notifications, whatever it is you're doing. If you are feeling this overwhelm, if you're getting to the state of overwhelm, you need to stop. If you're in a car, if you're driving somewhere, you need to pull over. You need to stop. You need to physically remove yourself from the situation. You need to just avoid that overwhelm. Give yourself some time to regroup and then start out again. So that's what you need to avoid this week. Avoid getting overwhelmed. And so, Spirit, thank you for those messages. What is the outcome for Group 2 this week? What can they expect for an outcome this week? Okay, 5 of Swords and the 6 of Cups. The 9 of Swords. Seven of Swords and the Knight of Spears. Well, friends, this week's going to be a little overwhelming. You can expect that there's going to be moments during the week where you are going to feel genuinely overwhelmed. You're going to feel stressed out. You're going to feel like, I just need to get out of here. Why did I do this? I need to get away. But you are also, toward the end of the week, you're going to have a much better understanding of your new situation. And you're going to get you're going to get a sense of, it's like when you do something really, really hard and you just think you can't even, you're gonna die if you have to do whatever this is. That if you're overwhelmed and it's just too much and you just feel like you can't handle it. You just flat out can't handle it, and then you do handle it. And what you end up with is this just amazing feeling of a sense of accomplishment, and also this feeling of being so proud of yourself. Like when you were a little kid and you caught the ball, or when you were a little kid and you did a somersault, you did something that just made your loved ones proud of you, and you were so proud of yourself. So that's what that's the outcome that you can expect from this week. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be a hard week. There are going to be a lot of times when it feels overwhelming, when it feels really tough, but you're going to get through it. You're going to demonstrate that you are amazingly capable. And then at the end of the week, when all's said and done, you're going to have that feeling like, man, I am so proud of myself. Just like when you were a little kid, before you knew that there was so much more to do, that there was, 20 other things that need to get done too. There was just, when you were a kid, there was just that moment right then and right there that you were just so proud of yourself, and the whole world was just your oyster. You had done this great thing and you were so proud of yourself, and that just lit you up. So that's how your week's going to end. You're going to get this feeling that you conquered the situations that were so tough that you didn't think that you could. You didn't think that you could make it through, but you did. You showed how strong you were, and you showed that you could get whatever you needed to get done, you did. And then now you can just sit back and look at it and just be so proud of yourself. So that's the outcome for your week, and that's great. It's going to be tough this week. It's not going to be all roses and lovely. There will be a lot of tough moments, but come the end of the week, you will have shown yourself that you can handle this, and you're going to be really proud of yourself. So let's take a look at the oracle card that we got. So the oracle card that we got is centering. Never leave your center. Count your bad points as well as your good. What is good and what is bad are most often purely relative. If you sense a weakness within yourself, explore it. It may become the source of your greatest strength. As you sit like a sacred Buddha amid the pandemonium of your life, always remember that the situation or person who has the ability to upset you the most, to pull you off your center, is your greatest teacher in the process of centering. Remember that a focus on negativity can become your addiction. When you center yourself in your power, you release your need for constant distraction from your center. So I'd say that this matches right along with this reading. There's going to be a lot of moments this week that will try to pull you off your center. Maintain that center. Know that you can handle things, and then come the end of the week, you're going to feel so much more balanced, and you're going to have the good that's going to outweigh, or that's going to balance all of the tough stuff this week, and get you back to your center. So I think that's a beautiful message to go along with your reading. So I hope this reading helps you get through your week. It sounds like you might have some challenges for sure, but it also sounds like you can handle those challenges. Just remember that there's someone in your corner that you can turn to when you need them, and they're always going to be there. Even if you think they won't have time, they will. So give them that opportunity to show you that they're going to have time for you. So thank you for spending time with me. I love to read for you. I am always so amazed at what the cards tell us, and so thankful that I have an opportunity to do this, and to do this for you. So I welcome you back whenever you need additional guidance, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. Good luck. Bye-bye.